Hi everyone, welcome to my sewing / homeschool studio tour. But first, let me explain where I've been, because I haven't posted to this channel in over a year. So I've just been working on our house that we bought. So this is our first house, and it just so happens that I had a room in this house to become my sewing studio / our homeschool space. And I was really excited to get started and move in, but the whole thing had to be redone because we bought kind of a fixer-upper. So we redid every single surface in this room. We sanded the floors, polyurethaned them. There was wallpaper here before, so we had to take the wallpaper down and then put this wonderful wallpaper back up. And then paint, we added crown molding, new outlets, new light fixtures, everything. So it was really a fun process to do, and we did all of it ourselves. And now everything is moved in. I've sewn in here. We do school in here, and it's just the best space. And so I'm really excited to show you all the details about it. So let's get to it. So right when you walk into the room, to your left, you have the work table. It's where we work on school, or when I'm sewing, this is where I'll cut stuff out. And in future tutorials, this is where I'm going to try and film larger work items. So we have 2 chairs to sit here, and over here I have 2 shelves for storage, and I'll show you what I store in these shelves. On these shelves is where I keep most of my larger pieces of fabric, and in this box is where I'm keeping all of my upcoming projects. It's my, pretty special box. I have my patterns, all of my folded big box patterns stored in here, and I have all of my PDF rolled up patterns that are larger stored away in a different storage closet. But I have all of my fabrics in these bins and then smaller cutting mats, and that's just about it. If I'm working on a project, I kind of will use the top of this area as just a holding place, just because it's right on the other side. And I don't know, it just makes a whole complete unit. So I love this where it is. Over on this wall, we have most of just our school and arts and crafts supplies. This is my daughter's sewing machine and our globe and all of our workbooks, paints, pencils, everything is down here. And I knew that I wanted a big mirror. Full body length would have been really cool for just, checking a fit on a different garment or something. But if I stand back, I can see myself in this mirror, and I like that I can use it as a fitting tool. And it just is a pretty addition to the room. And then Miss Fancy Lady has her shining corner. I'll show you a little bit of how we organize this as well. Just a super quick overview of the homeschool cabinet. We have little workbooks and more infrequently used things, and the girls' sewing things right here, microscope, and then we have paints and beads back here, more paints, coloring books. This is our art section. This is our everyday grab and go, and we'll just put that up on the table for markers and pencils and everything here. And then this is just kind of our main workbook section. Things we're pulling every day get stored in this center area. And then this just has little bookmarks and odds and ends, rulers, stuff like that. So that's the homeschool cabinet. And here is the sewing command center with the sewing machines, all my tools. It's all in this sewing box. This is it opened up, but it all folds up into a cabinet. If I want to make this into a guest room, we can push everything and open it up to where it's really clear, or pull everything out to where it's just ready for all creativity. Let's look in the bins in this one. Okay, now for the really fun part, sewing stuff. I'm not going to show you every tiny little thing that I have, but a general overview, just because I think it's interesting to a lot of sewers how they organize their things. I have my most frequent threads up here, and then less frequently used ones I have in this little bin. This is also where I keep zippers. They're tucked in the back, and all of my little bindings and trims. I have receipts in here, different gadgets, bias tape folder. In this section is where I have 2 boxes where I keep elastics and beads. I have a little bead box for my tiniest seed beads for when I do beading projects. This is just the best container because it holds everything all in one, but then I have little canisters for the individual beads. This has beads, fasteners, sequins, and miscellaneous things. And then in this, I have different Velcros and elastics. And then in the very bottom container, I have little pom-pom makers, glue gun, hole punch, some interfacing, and a couple other miscellaneous things. Under this table is where I have a lot of my scrap and quilting fabrics. So let's look in this box. These are medium-sized pieces of quilting cotton and fat quarters. This is kind of my go-to place when I need kind of a small piece, but not super tiny. In the next bin is where I keep my even smaller pieces. So if I'm doing really tiny quilt, I usually will keep scraps that are 3 by 3 is generally the smallest that I'll keep, but I have all of those from tons of different projects that I can pull from if I want to. And I keep them in Ziploc bags just because I can get more in there when the air's squished out. This is just the mystery craft box. If you're gonna do a craft, you might reach for this. It has glitter. I don't like glitter, but I have it for the thrill of it. Tons of different things. Jingle bells are in here, chalk, ink for writing with a fountain pen, strands of little pearl things, hole punches, and more glitter. This bin is a fun one. So when I'm doing a sample on some of my videos, I'll show a small sample of a technique. I keep all of my techniques in here. And so this is just kind of like a reference box. This bin is kind of a miscellaneous fabrics. I kind of throw anything in this box. This box right here has mostly flannel. And then I have some cards right here that sometimes I might use as little photography backdrops for up close things. And then my sock blockers for when I'm knitting socks are tucked in right there. So we have more goodies to find, and I love all the little nooks inside of this case just because I can store so many things and you can't really tell if you're just looking into the room. So these are just different papers for very small patterns, bra and underwear patterns, things like that, that are just easy to fold and tuck into here that might get lost in other places. I have assorted colors of felt in this bag, and then embroidery threads. This is my mom's collection that I commandeered. Next I have these 3 drawers, which are projects that I want to set out to do, or some that I've done and I need to reorganize the fabrics and just shuffle things around. But this particular bin right here is all lingerie fabrics and things that go with it. So a whole bag of elastics, different fabrics and laces, all the little things that you need for bra making, all things for lingerie making go in here. This bin has some projects. It has scrunchies that I want to take pictures of. And then this bin is more fabric. And even farther under the table, I have a little container of different trims. And I just really like keeping certain fluffier trims in here just because it has room to breathe and they don't get super squished. This treasure box has ribbons just packed in here as best as I can get them, all the way layered down. And if you need a ribbon, this is the box that you go to. And finally, my iron. If I want to tuck it away, I just stick it down there. And this bin is my scrap bin. So it's a really pretty cotton rope basket that I throw a Joann bag in, and then it just catches all my scraps. Now we can dive into the sharp things drawer. This is where I keep all of my sharp things. When my kids were little, I had this little baby proofing thing so that they could never have access to scissors and it locks. I don't have to use that anymore, but it's all, I got used to it all being there and I really love it. So I have my needles, scissors, all the things I need quickly. My thimble, seam ripper, and then different sorts of pins are in the back. And it all just tucks away and is there for me anytime I need it. And this is where I sit. I sew here, teach here, record videos right here. It's my captain's chair. And these are my two machines. The Brother SQ9185 computerized sewing machine. It's awesome. It does everything I need it to do. I am a big fan. And then Brother 1034D, the very popular serger. And I have my books up here. I just feel like everything is within my grasp and I can make anything. So I love this spot. And because we're on YouTube, you might be curious how I film for YouTube. So I have the camera on a tripod. I have one light on a stand. It's the same as this, but on a full stand, so it's more mobile. And then this light, I can just position whichever way I want. It's actually a really nice work light if I tilt it down. And then this arm, I can mount a microphone. And I do that for voiceovers on the videos. And then I have this for overhead shots that I can just adjust wherever I want it. And then I could also put it on here and film this direction as well instead of getting my tripod out. Between those things, I can get my filming done, and that's all there is to it. I hope you've enjoyed the tour of my studio, and I will write up as many resources as I can as to like what the paint color is and the wallpaper, cabinets. I'll link everything that I can and I'll write it up in a blog post, and below this video in the description you can click over to my blog and find all the information for all the things I can find in this studio. If you like this video, you can click the thumbs up to let me know. You can subscribe to this channel if you want to see more videos and click the bell next to it to be alerted when new videos come up. And let me know what you think in the comments section. I'd love to hear your thoughts and answer any questions that you have. Until next time, go get creative and make something you love. Bye.